Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the top 10 highest paying degrees. And this will be the top 10 highest paying degrees at the bachelor level. So no graduate level degrees, nothing that leads to a doctor or lawyer or things like that. I will make some mentions of what degrees are good to go to a master's level degree, but this is just highest paying degrees, highest paying college majors that you want to do to obtain a high paying job. I've always said you do not want to go to school to, if it is your dream, great. But I'm not the type of guy that will say, hey, go follow your dream. Go major in art. No disrespect to any art majors. But going to school, unless you have a very wealthy family or don't need money, going to school, the point is to get a good career. So you want to major in something that will make you money in the long run and will give you a stable career, or at least give you the knowledge to have a high paying job or high paying business. So I will tell you the highest paying degrees at the bachelor level, and here we go. We will start with number 10. All right, guys, here we are, number 10, statistics. So stats is a great degree. You can get many different jobs with this: financial analyst, data analyst. You can even become a data scientist. A lot of times that requires a master's degree, but sometimes it doesn't. If you're already a part of a company and they're looking for a data scientist, they might give you the first crack at it. So anything that analyzes data, anything that analyzes numbers, this is like the gold standard bachelor degree. A lot of jobs will love this degree. Banks love this degree. As for starting salary, a lot of these starting salaries I am going to tell you are from me personally looking at job postings, using BLS, which is a government website, and also from my own personal experience from friends and people that I know that have all these different types of degrees. So I will use the national average, but just know in California, every degree and every job makes usually a lot more than the national average. So if you hear me say a number based off California, just know that might not apply to other states. But the national average, this is a great degree. Most jobs would probably start out around 70,000 depending on what you're doing. In California, you should be able to find a job 80, 90 right off the bat. But like I said, it depends what you're doing. If you want to be a data analyst, a financial analyst, depends where you're going to. Usually the public sector pays less than the private. So if you're going to get a government job, probably going to make a little less. But yeah, stats is a great degree. It's also a great degree for graduate school if you want to master in data science and become some type of researcher in the future as well. This is the degree. If you love numbers, if you love analyzing data, this is a good degree for you, and it leads to good high-paying jobs. All right, guys, number 9 on the list is physics. So physics is one of my favorite things to actually research. I love physics. I love watching YouTube videos on physics. I love learning about astronomy. I love learning about space. I love learning about how physics is and the laws of physics. It's just one of my hobbies and one of the things I like to do in my spare time. Do I go out and solve physics problems or anything like that? No, I love it more from an entertainment aspect. I don't actually do much physics myself. And as a major, I'm not sure I'd be able to graduate in physics. It is a very hard major, perhaps the most difficult major there is. Physics is not for the weak of heart. It is absolutely difficult. And I have the utmost respect for anybody that makes it through a physics degree, especially a master's as well. But even the bachelor level degree is it is extremely hard. I don't know if any of you have taken a physics class, but solving those problems are not easy. I took General Physics 1, and it was certainly not an easy class in any regard. So the people that do a whole degree of General Physics 1, 2, all of the physics classes that get harder and harder as the degree goes on, they have my utmost respect. But I do love physics from an entertainment aspect, and I do love consuming as much entertainment material as I can get my hands on. I love physics. I love space. As for a physics degree, It is a degree that can get you a lot of different jobs. A lot of people work in a lab with a physics degree and do a variety of jobs there. You can definitely land a variety of lab jobs. You can also become a software engineer. You can work in tech. You can work in almost any tech job with a physics degree. Now, since you don't have a tech degree like computer science or software engineering, you would basically have to add your own skills, learn them on your own time, learn how to pass an interview, and you would have to have projects, so they know that you know how to do your job, because you didn't take the theory in school. You didn't take the theory computer science courses. But physics is very universal. Employers usually love physics degrees because they can see you can solve any problem. You're a great problem solver, and you're probably pretty smart. So physics degrees are great. So anybody that can get that degree, it shows how smart they are and how much of a problem solver they are. Okay guys, the next one here, number 8, is mechanical engineering. This is a great degree if you like to work on machines, you like to work on building things. Pays really well. Some of the starting pay may not be as great as more software related majors, but it still pays really well. You're going to start out around probably at least 80, 90. You'll definitely make 6 figures at some point with this degree. The jobs you're looking at are obviously mechanical engineer or some type of physical engineer. But you can also parlay this into a software job too if you learn the skills. Engineering degrees are all very universal. You can basically transfer to all the different types of engineering, but for the most part, this one is a little more niche than the others. So odds are you do become some type of, hands-on engineer, so very good degree. I think it's very future-proof. If you like building things, you like working on things, this is a very good degree that all of these degrees will eventually lead to 6 figures, and this is one of them. And if you like building things, if you like structurally putting things together, working from blueprints, you will eventually earn 6 figures with this degree. So if this is up your alley, research into it. Mechanical engineering, very good degree. Alright guys, I'm going to start speeding through these. Number 7 is Management Information Systems. This degree is also known as Computer Information Systems at other schools. There's a lot of different names for this degree. One of them is just Information Systems without management. This degree has a lot of different names at a lot of different schools, but it's all the same degree. Management Information Systems. It's a great degree. This is one of those hidden gem degrees that not a lot of people major in, but it leads to a very high income. If you don't want to do all the calculus and math and things like that in a computer science degree, and you also really want to learn some more business, take business courses, this is the perfect degree for you. It's like a hybrid degree of computer science and software engineering and a business administration degree. So you get the best of both worlds. It really prepares you for a business type job that has computer aspects to it, some type of technical role in a business environment. I also see a lot of people become DevOps in the tech world with this degree. So it has a lot of different uses. I'm sure you can get a software engineer job with this degree too, add some projects, do some networking. I'm sure it's completely acceptable to land a software engineer or tech job with this degree. So Management Information Systems, it's definitely one of my favorites. I recommend you guys research it and check it out, especially if you're not that into math and you love business, but you also want to get involved in tech. All right, guys, number 6 is Electrical and Computer Engineering. At some schools, this is the same degree. At other schools, these are separate majors, electrical engineering and computer engineering. Electrical engineering is a major that has been around forever, and almost every school that's at least a medium-sized school will have that major. Electrical engineering, it's mostly for the hardware side of things. You can work on computer hardware or any kind of just electronics whatsoever, whether it be phones, any kind of electrical devices. It will that degree will teach you how to do that. And you can also, once again, a lot of these degrees have crossover and paths that you can get into software if you want to. These just allow you to, and it's not really vice versa, right? Like if you become a software engineer, it's hard to really get into these roles. They really do look for a electrical engineering degree and things that focus on hardware. But once again, another high paying degree, you're definitely looking at 6 figures once you're in the industry for a couple years. If you're in California, you'll probably hit 6 figures off the bat. You'll any kind of electrical engineering job, there's not as many of these jobs out there as the software field, but if you land one and you love it, it's a very, once again, just like mechanical engineering, if you love building things, this is the degree for you. You love building gadgets, major in this. It's a good high paying degree. You'll be satisfied with it, and it will lead to a career that you enjoy doing, and it pays a rewarding salary. Hey guys, number 5 on this list is aerospace engineering. So aerospace engineering is more of a niche major. Not every school has this. You're probably looking at higher end schools. It's a very rewarding major. Once again, just like the other mechanical engineering and electrical engineering, this is if you like to build things physically. If you like doing that, if you really like, this is like a branch of mechanical engineering, just much more niche. But it's a very, very good degree. This pays also well into the 6 figures, perhaps not starting, but like I said, all of these degrees are high paying 6-figure degrees. In California, probably a lot of these could start out at 6 figures. Aerospace engineering, I've heard it's very rigorous, very tough, so it's probably not for the faint of heart. But like I said, if you love building things and you're really into aerospace and that type of technology and that type of hardware, and you want a high-paying job to go with that, this is the perfect degree for you. So research aerospace engineering and see if it's for you. All right, guys, number 4 on this list is chemical engineering. So you might see a reoccurring theme on this list, which is a lot of engineering degrees. Big surprise, engineering pays a lot. Engineering degrees are very hard to get. It requires, somebody that's very smart, very knowledgeable, a problem solver. The biggest thing an engineer does is solve problems. What is needed in the workforce in the toughest jobs? Solving the utmost hardest problems. So chemical engineering, obviously in today's society, we use a lot of chemicals. Companies want engineers that can produce these chemicals, can make these chemicals, can come up with the blueprint for these chemicals. Personally, this is not my type of thing. I don't like dealing with chemicals and the risks that come with that. But for those that want to make good money at a 4-year level degree, I've heard great things about the income level of this degree, and it's an in-demand job. You can find jobs that are always looking for a chemical engineer. But yeah, chemical engineering, you probably won't find it at every school, probably more of the bigger schools, but chemical engineering, great degree, and I recommend it if you want to have a high-paying major. All right, guys, number 3 on this list is nursing. So nursing, if you don't want a tech degree, if you don't want to work in the tech industry, if you don't want to work on software, hardware, you don't want to be an engineer and solve those type of problems, nursing is a very interesting degree. So in California specifically, nurses can make well over $100,000. Travel nurses can make over $300,000 to $400,000, especially during a pandemic. I'm talking about registered nurses who have their Bachelor of Science in Nursing, a BSN. These nurses can make quite a lot of money. In California, they will start at over $100,000. In other states, they probably start out around more along the lines I'm thinking of $80,000. But it's a very lucrative degree, very powerful. And if you like helping people, if you like nursing people back to health, taking care of them, just feeling like you are helpful and you just want to take care of people, this could be the degree for you. But just realize it is a very tough job. I have talked to nurses, and their job is not easy by any stretch of the imagination. It's very stressful. They're constantly running around. They're constantly stressed. If their patient's okay, Sometimes even if their patient's about to die, like they're just constantly stressed out and come home from work after a 12-hour shift, because nurses do work 3/12s per week, sometimes even more, and they come home stressed to the maximum. So if you don't like stress, if you don't like overwhelming job, just like a job that just puts you at your brink, like this probably is not the major for you. But you can also take this degree to the master's level too and become a nurse practitioner. You would still be dealing with a heavy workload, but you wouldn't be doing bedside nursing. You'd be more just kind of talking to patients every day, kind of like similar to a doctor, but you wouldn't actually be bedside nursing, running around, worrying if your patient's gonna, just collapse on you and things like that, right? It's much, in a way, less stressful. But a nursing degree is a great degree, especially in California. So if you don't want to work in tech, you don't want to work hardware, software, don't want to do that, nursing's a good degree, pays a good amount of money. It just all depends if you want the stress or not, if you want to go through nursing school, which is very rigorous. And yeah, but a nursing degree, do your research, see if it's for you. All right, guys, number 2 is software engineering. So if you want to become a software engineer or some kind of engineer in the tech space, this is a great degree. It is very similar to the number 1 degree on this list, without the math involved. There's still quite a bit of math involved in this degree, but not as much. Software engineering prepares you for any kind of developing job, like a web developer, if you take the right classes, a mobile developer, basically any kind of, there's many different types of software engineers. Like I said, web developer, mobile developer, you can work with data. There's just many different avenues you can take. So software engineering is a field that has blown up for a long time over the past 10 to 15 years. A lot of people are getting into it. It's a 6-figure job. In California, it will start at least 110, 115, especially if you work in Silicon Valley. Other states, you might start off more like 80. It all depends on the state. It all depends on where you're at. It all depends on how big the company is. There's a lot of factors that go into it. So it's hard to give you, concrete numbers and things like that. But, if you're in Silicon Valley, it's your first software engineering job, it's a decent company, probably looking at over a 6-figure starting salary. And a lot of people are learning coding these days, how to pass interviews. You can learn that on LeetCode. But software engineering gives you the fundamentals to get a software engineering job in the tech world. And it is a great degree to have. So software engineering, research into it, and we'll get to our number 1 degree here in a second. All right, guys, the number 1 degree on this list, computer science. Many of you probably thought this would be number 1, and it is. This is the gold standard degree if you want to work in the tech industry, whether it be software engineering, data, or whatever you want to exactly do in the tech industry. This is a great degree to have. This is what employers usually look for. They look for this or software engineering or electrical engineering, but mostly they look for computer science, especially for new grads. If you have a different degree with a bunch of projects and you're networking and you have a bunch of experience, it's not going to matter as much. But if you're a new grad trying to get your first job, computer science is the gold standard degree. This will start you out at over 6 figures, especially in California. If you're in a different state, probably a little less. Once again, depending on the company, depending on the location, every state is different. But yeah, computer science is a very lucrative major. A lot of people try to get through it. A lot of people try to major in it. If you can get through the math, if you can get through the intensity of the program, it is an absolutely amazing, in my opinion, future-proof degree to have, and you will make a 6-figure salary, and you will be set up for success.